From your perspective, is there a buzz about Austin soccer? And with that said, how, I guess, excited are you to help open up the soccer era, the pro soccer era in Austin?
I think most things about Austin has a nice buzz to it. It's such a great city. It's such a unique city in the state of Texas. It's obviously has a much different vibe, I think, than the rest of Texas. I think it's the only professional sports team there as well. So, anytime I feel like a new franchise, opens up, it's well vetted. It's obviously has a brand new training facility and a beautiful new stadium and lots of money behind it. So I think the city of Austin is excited. I know I'm excited to go there and play there, and frankly have somewhere else to play in Texas. We do enough of the of the Houston Dallas action. So the breakfast tacos alone are reason to be excited about heading to Texas and being able to break in the new stadium for the national team in Austin.
Thanks.
Mike Craven, over to you.
Hey, Megan, I'm curious how important it is to keep getting in new markets, not only for the national team, but just for soccer in general in this country.
I mean, I think it's massively important. Just from a player's perspective, it's always exciting for us to be able to, take our game and take everything that, the women's national team stands for into a new market and get in front of new eyes. Obviously, with how much soccer is growing in this country as well, I think it's really cool that we get to break in this stadium for U.S. soccer and continue to grow the game. And, soccer in this country obviously is only exploding and exponentially growing. So to be able to continue, to bring the beautiful game all over the place, and kind of leading up to our Olympic bid. And then, obviously I think the whole of the soccer country has the Men's World Cup 2026, I believe that is, kind of, in their eyes. So hopefully we'll, we all saw what a huge impact that had in 94, and even just World Cups that aren't on domestic soil, how much of an impact that has for both men's and women's soccer across the country. So for us, it's really exciting and a great opportunity to continue to bring soccer to places that maybe it hasn't traditionally been before.
Next up, Eric Goodman from the Austin Chronicle.
Hi, Megan. Yeah, Eric Goodman with the Austin Chronicle and NBC Olympics. I was just wondering, generally, what are your thoughts on the Olympics coming up this summer, given the situation with the pandemic in Japan? What challenges do you expect that'll create for the team off the field?
Generally, I'm excited. Obviously, it was a big disappointment to have it, postponed amidst a global pandemic. We're, I think, as athletes, excited that it's going to be able to even happen. There obviously is so many unknowns. I feel like that's the sort of theme of this past year is just kind of roll with it. There'll be, I'm sure, tons of testing and protocols, and undoubtedly there'll be a time during the tournament where we're just exasperated by all the protocols. But I think to zoom out and take a step back, realizing that we have to do all of that stuff to keep everyone safe. And if we can do all of those things, if we can all work together, as a team and in the different sports, and obviously the IOC and, the sort of local government in Tokyo, then we're going to be able to do something really special. So I think overall, we're really excited. We know there's going to be challenges that will be posed that will make a very difficult tournament even more difficult, but that's just the reality of what it is. And, we're really lucky to be able to have this tournament and to be able to continue to compete, as COVID really just continues to rage across the world.
Next up, Chris Bills from the Striker, Texas.
Thanks, Tom. Hi, Megan. I think a lot of people are really, eager to see more women's soccer come to Austin. I was just curious if you had any kind of message to Anthony Precourt and the ownership group of Austin FC about making sure this isn't a one and done thing.
Well, I'd ask to see his pitch deck and plans for an NWSL expansion team. That's, I think, what I would say. Obviously, they, have a brand new stadium that is well funded. Is the stadium partly taxpayer funded? as well? Do you know that?
It is not. So the stadium is privately financed. Austin FC is in a public-private partnership with the city of Austin, from which we lease the land for the stadium. But it is privately financed, and part of the lease agreement is that we give the stadium back to the city of Austin at the end of that lease agreement.
Okay, got you. Yeah, no, I would say Austin would be an incredible city to have an NWSL team. I mean, I think people, ask all the time what they can do to support women's soccer and continue to grow women's soccer. I think the answers are really obvious. You have a brand new training facility, I'm sure, that could house another 23 people, a beautiful stadium, and I think if the ownership group in Austin is, committed to equality and committed to growing the game on both sides, I would very much encourage them to look into an NWSL franchise.
Excellent, thank you. Zach Smith up next.
Yeah, hi, Megan. This match obviously comes at a key moment leading up to the Olympics. So how are you approaching it from a preparation standpoint on the field?
I mean, all of these minutes and seconds that we get together are really vital. We never have enough time in camp to accomplish everything that we want to, and we won't have enough time. We won't have as much time as we want, and I'm sure Vlatko wants leading into the Olympics. So I think for us, these games are huge, all of them in this series, to be able to not only get together and continue to grow chemistry as a team and nail some things down, but start to get into the details a little bit more. Obviously, we'll all be playing with our individual NWSL teams and have game minutes in our legs and under our belt, but that chemistry and just a better understanding of what we're doing on the field are really vital moments for us. So it's a huge preparation tournament for us. Knowing that we would have played games in May, we weren't able to get games on the books with the national team in May. So I think everyone's really excited about it, to play 3 games in a row as well, to kind of, simulate at least sort of group stage of a tournament, and be able to back up performances like that is going to be really important for the team heading into Tokyo.
We come next to Theodore.
Hi, Meg. I just wanted to talk about, obviously you're playing Nigeria, which is huge as well. The Champions League finalists in that team. What is it like to host them in the United States and in Austin, having such great opposition to showcase to a new city and a state?
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. I was actually super excited when I saw Nigeria, that we were playing Nigeria. First of all, we don't get to play them very often. We don't get to play teams from the African continent very often. So I think it's a big signal to how much the game is continuing to grow from a global perspective. To play a new opponent is always great for us. Oftentimes, we're in the North America, sort of Central America. It's easy for those teams to get here, for us to get to places. So to bring a new opponent, someone that is very different from a lot of teams that we play all the time, will be great. And they're always tough, always a tough team to play against. As you mentioned, they have, some incredible talent in their squad. So to be a good, different look for us. And I think that's what we want heading into Tokyo, is just to be able to play all different kinds of teams. We saw, even just in our last overseas trip, the difference between how France plays with how Sweden plays, and you need to be able to adjust tactically very quickly and be able to kind of change on the fly oftentimes as players. Even in the game, you set up a game plan, Vlatko prepares us, and then sometimes teams just do different stuff that you didn't expect. So it'd be a good challenge for us. And again, I think an eye on the growing women's game and getting a team here that we normally don't get to play, I think is really amazing.
Our final question is going to go to Cedric Golden, and then we're going to wrap it up. Cedric, over to you.
Hi, Megan. You guys have fought for equality on the pitch, in the boardroom, at the bargaining table, and also against social injustice. With such a busy schedule and and with all you do, how difficult is it to juggle that responsibility with the other things that are on your plate?
I mean, I could certainly put my my time to different use. I don't know. Honestly, I don't really ever think about that in that way because it's just a necessity for us. I feel like we have to, whether it's, fighting for equal pay or, from a broader context of social justice and fighting for racial justice in this country, it doesn't feel like an option. So it's just something that we do and something that we feel very passionate about and something that's just a part of our lives. There's certainly times where I'm getting on calls after practice or, spending time, working on the lawsuit or CBA negotiations or whatever it may be, that I would like to be doing different things, but that's just kind of the reality of our situation. And we realize that we are in a really unique position to really kind of, change the world, not just for soccer and not just setting the game up so the next generation of players will be able to stand on everything that we've done and not have to fight the same fights. But yeah, it's just sort of a fact of life for us. So it is what it is. I do enjoy doing it, and I do, and I think the team does as well. We understand we're in a unique position to use this huge platform that we have to, affect change in our own country, but globally as well.
I think that's an excellent point that we can wrap up. Megan Rapinoe, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule for this conversation this morning. We are very excited to welcome you and your teammates to Austin for that match on June the 16th, and honored that the world champions will be making the very first match come to life at Q2 Stadium. So thank you, and thank you to our guests from the media today. This has been an excellent session, and we're very excited with the news today. Thank you all. Have a great day. Have a great rest of the week. And that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.